Welcome to Shopping Seriously, where three geeks talk about stuff they're buying, or this week considering buying, or may not even consider buying, or are using. We'll join you in a sec. We've heard that full sort of trailer and intro for Shopping Seriously. Charlie, what's the name of the song again? I absolutely love it, the piece that you've recorded.
I called it "Calm Down, Men Are Here."
yeah. The theme for Shopping Seriously is based upon the new song by Charlie Wickham called "Calm Down, Men Are Here." This week we talk about. Nathan, what's the context of this? We are both real fans of Mini. The internet seriously is positioned. The building that we're in is right next door to the Mini factory. We're in Oxford. It's our life. You own a Mini.
Yep, we both own Minis. And today my Mini needed to go in for a service, an MOT.
Right. Yeah.
So I opted for a courtesy car.
Okay,
to take advantage of that.
Yeah. So the options there that they offer you, do you get a choice or do they just?
No, it's just whatever we've got available.
No. You bought the last few models of Mini. You've stepped through them.
I've stepped through a few. Yeah. So I started off life with a Mini Cooper S, a small little red one, petrol. Then I moved to a Clubman Cooper S.
Very nice.
Which was very nice. And now I've got a Mini Electric.
Yeah.
Which I've had for a couple of years now.
Yeah, which I've got one as well, which is a sort of a Revolut model, which includes some stripes down the side and a deep green that's almost black. Lovely car. Yeah. And these cars are awesome because you get in them and they're like a super golf buggy.
They're just so much fun.
Yeah,
they're so much fun. And
roller coaster.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I feel like the electrics are the best version to have the most kind of fun because they're really torquey, they're really quick.
Yeah. I mean, so the scene is they can't go wrong.
They can't go wrong.
Before we move on, Kieran, you live in Putney, and like most Londoners, they have a completely different ecosystem where you don't even need to own a car. What was your last car you owned? Some truck in America.
That was when I lived in the US and I had a Toyota RAV4, which I loved.
Oh, which
that
we
was
own.
A cracking car.
We have one of those and we love it. Yeah, it's a hybrid, so we try not to guzzle too much gas.
I got to say, my memory of Minis, though, I remember being as a teenager in a Mini, one of the original sort of Minis. And which are terrifically fun to drive around, but you could feel every mile per hour. I mean, you literally knew how fast do you think we're going? We're going 43 miles an hour, and I can feel it in my bones.
I went in a Mini as a very young child in the 60s, one of the very, very, very first Minis. And I recall it being absolutely tiny. And my father at the time took me as a child and two other adults to visit his mother in North Wales, all the way from London.
Gosh.
And we actually slept in the Mini, which was actually literally half the size of normal Minis. The real 60s icon, and I think it was the smartest thing to happen in Oxford to move over to that. So you get a loan car. I've noticed you always love the next model more and more and more. Where are we at with the one you were just lent?
So this is a 2024 Mini, so the latest facelift, I guess, if you will, where there's a new look in front. You'll see it on the screen shortly, I would assume. There we go. So it's got a new look in front. It's the front's not too drastic, but the inside is where things change quite dramatically.
Yeah, because inside I've got like really tough, nice fabric, nice designs, surround with quality. It's plastics, but it's quality dash.
Yeah. So that's one of the things that as soon as I got into this car, I noticed that there is a lot of fabric use, and that's great. But where they've used plastic, it feels cheaper.
They've gone for cheap plastic.
So, but they do have, some really nice fabrics across the dash. Again, there's a picture I think that we can show of the insides, and or the front of the dash is all kind of fabric. It's quite textured.
Yeah.
And you have this massive, great big circular display.
Oh,
that's the thing I'm most interested in.
Yeah.
So I've heard about this display, circular one, and apparently it's delightful. And the other question I have is, apparently they've updated it. You have that issue where you try and like plug in your phone, it works half the time and doesn't the other. Apparently, now I wonder if this is true, they've improved all that, so it's actually much more intuitive and works better. Is that right?
So I got in the car this morning, I turned it on, screen came up, and I connected my phone in less than a minute. I had CarPlay up and running, taking me to where I needed to go. So from that point of view, the integration with CarPlay is fantastic.
Oh,
it's
really?
Quick, it's easy. We've both got CarPlay in our existing Minis.
Yes, but also Emily has an iPhone, and depending on which person is in the car, we have this constant torture.
It's a battle, isn't it?
And then I can't get, after she's connected, I can't connect mine. It's still really shit.
It is. It's not great.
But it's not, this is certainly a step further away from, my son has a VW electric car, and sometimes you have to stop in the middle of the road and reboot the car.
Yes, right.
Because the comms are so bad and it can't drive without, this is getting like Boeing or whatever.
Yeah,
It's
I've never had any issues like that with my electric, but the immediate thing that kind of threw me off a bit was the lack of buttons.
Oh,
everything is now, I know, and I got in, I started driving down the road, and the steering wheel started getting hot. It's obviously a heated steering wheel. The seat was getting hot, so
you can't decide.
And there was no buttons to turn them off, and everything is controlled in that screen.
Oh, terrible.
From the temperature gauge to the heat settings, the fan speeds, it's just all on the screen, which I think is quite distracting.
I think also driving. It's quite retro in the movement at the moment, because there seems to be Porsche and others are not going fully into the screen, turning your car into a giant iPhone. Kieran, I don't know if you agree. I find this really terrible. I cannot bear being in a device when I'm in a car. In the RAV4, as you know, they've got a really nice basic set of buttons as well. If you think about Aircraft Pilot, they've said, no, don't go big screen with aircraft. We have to have buttons. They're just much more solid.
I'm on big button side with this one. I wish they would spend more. What I'd really love. I mean, I can tell you all about the switches and buttons, and I can go back years thinking about my favorite switches and buttons. They're really tactile if they work really well. When you're driving, I mean, with cars that I've had in the past, I know where it all is. So you're driving along, you don't look at it because you know which button to press or. So I wish they'd put more engineering into like the next generation of really good buttons. That would please me no end.
Oh,
I find screens frustrating.
There are two bugbears I really have, which are constantly in my Tech Room 101. Throw them away forever. Is one, it's a sideshow, but it's shampoo, because all shampoo is designed for people who are not short-sighted or long-sighted, and so they have tiny writing on them. The company that invents shampoo with large words saying shampoo and conditioner on, you will get all of my business. The other is burying everything in a bloody screen in the car. Thanks very much. There's one other point you want to make, Nathan.
Last point, and I'll show this on screen. For those of you who have Minis, you'll be very familiar with the fact that the keys are these nice circular kind
of...
Love
them. I've got one.
They're fantastic. The new ones are quite long and...
You see that on camera 5? That's
just zooming in.
Yeah, just basically like a massive.
It's like a massive puck thing. It's a bit big in the
pocket.
pocket.
Oh wow, that's massive.
You can see,
massive.
There's buttons on the sides. There's
What does it do?
It's like a
Does
TV.
it do anything extra?
So no, not that I know of. There's some buttons on the side to unlock the boot.
It's like a TV remote control sort of size,
it is.
really.
And then what threw me off is to lock the car afterwards. You have to press the Mini symbol in the middle there. And I was pressing all around. I was, trying to, I mean, it's like a game controller. I can always play a little game on it.
Right. Yeah. So Mini,
big and unintuitive. There we
Mini, if you can't hear us because we're next door anyway, if any of you watch this, Mini designers, our 2 takeaways are: get that stuff out of the screen and get it back into buttons.
We want buttons and knobs and dials and
get back your smart, designy, round key fob. We love that. That was distinctive. Stop trying to copy Jaguar with this massive, great sort of remote control that we've all got to carry around in our splitting trouser pockets. Thanks very much. That was the Shopping Seriously.